most likely not see order picking. It's kind of strange overall.
To an extent, I agree. But when we spoke to Alistair like yesterday, I think it's something that they're clearly like slowly adapting to be within their map pool, and it's one that, in all honesty, I think they are the better team on, especially as a bit of a pocket pick. I don't think the Chiefs really want to be going in that direction. Like on the other side of things, they haven't played a whole lot of Vertigo. Their losses, like for example, their loss to Renegades was a 16-4. So if I'm looking at that, I'm actually going, no, you don't want to go anywhere near Vertigo. You've just been banged out by Renegades, and like Order spoke about it. They go like 16-14. They lose very, very close versus the top teams within the region. So I actually don't mind that ban. I think it's actually quite smart because they had an atrocious time on it yesterday. So why not just get rid of it completely?
What I have, what surprised me a little bit is, or rather made me happy first. Let's talk about what made me happy first, Tom. Is the fact that Train gets picked by Order, right? That's something they didn't do yesterday. And I'm like, why don't you just pick it? It's a map that you're so very comfortable on. You have an incredible record on it, and you seem to really enjoy playing it, while most teams in the region don't really play Train that much. However, I'm surprised Chiefs let it through, right? This is a must-win game for Order. You're kind of expecting it to come out. Chiefs don't really play that much. They don't really have a great record on it, and they let it through and ban out Vertigo instead. I think that's just a little mind-boggling, but that doesn't really matter right now, ladies and gentlemen. Heading in straight into Dust 2. This is the pick coming in from the side of Chiefs. In Order, they're going to opt to start on the T side. Now, the question, it's for me, Mitch, is going to be how much are they going to try and abuse this B bomb side? Tom.
Who you calling Mitch? That's the
I'm
biggest
sorry,
insult I've ever received in my life.
I'm so sorry, Tom. I apologize. That was terrible of me. Mitch, of all people.
Yeah,
you'd be okay with Jim, right?
Yeah, yeah. Jim's got style. I don't want to be compared to that. Either way, we are gonna have to push it onto the site. It's Gerard to kick things off. Pillow looking to go alongside a bit, but that's going to be thrown away once again by the in-game leader. And this push on towards the A site is looking pretty good. Only Soju going to be remaining, and realistically doesn't stand much of a chance. Does manage to at least find one pick, but this is going to be a rough take. And Order are going to grab themselves the pistol with a fairly basic strategy, just a straight up push down long.
Yeah, nothing too elaborate. Kind of not even like, I wouldn't even say like some textbook take. They just went on in. They used the smokes to cross on over. And Chiefs had 3 plays on that A bomb side, yet not able to get anything done. It's a good start here for Order. Again, we go back to the game. For those of you probably didn't tune in for the previous time these two teams face off against each other on this particular map, it was Chiefs who came out on top. It was, I think, like a 7-0 start for Chiefs on their CD side. And Order, they won 7 rounds in the end. It was an 8-7 half, but all the rounds they got on their T side were on the B bomb side. So already, Tom, it's okay. Hold on. Vex side is looking for more, but it's just good for 1. Yeah, but like if you remember, they didn't get a single round on that A bomb side in I think 8 or 7 attempts. And now already the 1 round they win, it's on the A bomb side. So things are looking different already, just in the span of a couple of minutes.
Yeah, the worry for me as well is Ofnu had far and away the best performance we've seen from him in this tournament. So if he gets off to a slow start, obviously they're on the earlier match today. They're starting on that CT side, which I'm pretty sure when you talk to some of the teams, I can't remember who said it actually. Was it Alistair who said that they never want to start on the CT side?
Yeah, it was Alistair. No, I think it was
Dexter. It was Dexter. Yeah. So it's like, well, we'll see if that actually plays a part here, because I think if Order get off to a good start, especially on a map like Dust 2 where momentum is everything, I think that they could easily take this one. And I wasn't actually that impressed with Chiefs on this map. Yesterday when they played, it was pretty good. That's a nice shot, and I'm going to shut up for a second because a 1v4 would be a pretty terrible thing to miss, but realistically, no armor available, just a scout in hand, a deagle, and no hit. Miracle. Gerard is going to be there to put him down. Also, I think that was one of the worst performances we've seen from him as well. Like, that was a game that went to OT, and he managed to get, 7 kills? So, there's definitely some things within that series that are caveats, and I'm sort of looking this now for Chiefs and saying, well, will he get 35 kills? Have you managed to fix all the problems? Because sure, versus Renegades yesterday, they looked good. But as said, Dexter literally came out and was like, even though it was a very close map, we don't think we played that well in the first half. And then in the second half, they won.
Then here we go. It's going to be Slaughter at long. I'm not a fan of Apoc Dot going for that. A very clean pickup quad kill, I think, for Gyro. So that's a way to start things off. You know, he had a quiet game earlier this time around. 8 frags of his name. Just a couple of casualties. He still has died a few times, but apart from that, it'll be okay. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, when it comes down to the side of Chiefs, like the APOC had that scout. I know this is like a couple of rounds ago. I just want to touch upon that. He had a scout, a deagle, and a smoke, Tom, and it was a 1v4 with no kit on the A bomb set. 100% unwinnable round, and he went for it instead of maybe holding onto that scout and then, you know, maybe trying to land some tags in the third round, because it was a full eco anyway. So might as well try and maximize his chances there, right? These are the small little decisions that don't make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense. He was just maybe just going for style points, trying to take away a couple of guns, but it's not worth it. And I feel like these sort of percentage plays is something that is still lacking. Don't get me wrong, we've seen some crazy games, some crazy players, you know, very talented youngsters coming out from the region, but I feel like that's what separates a team like Renegades from the rest of the crop. But we'll get back to it later on. This B bomb site hit is coming in.
Know how this is one of the changes they made. They now have and Zeph still playing more of that rotator role. Seemingly, Blair, it's made no difference. They've still been absolutely wrecked. This was, as said, the real problem that they had last time they played is that their CT side, B side defense was really weak. Now, versus Renegades, they did a pretty good job, if I'm being honest. Like, a better job, at least. But at the same time, I think that was one of Soju's best performances we've seen throughout this tournament. And as said, when this is your first map of the day, I don't know if you're going to be recreating that. That's a rough thing to basically go, okay, Soju, you need to have your best performance straight off the bat, otherwise we're going to lose.
And even in the game yesterday against Renegades, if you remember, he wasn't really having like a crazy performance. It was near the end of that map where he had the crazy hole in the B bomb side, the 4K, right? So he kind of warmed up into it as well. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. 4-0 for Order, you know, it's a pretty slow start for the Chiefs. But the thing for the Chiefs is it's their T side, which impresses me the most. And which is their strength, right? So I don't think they're going to be too worried yet, but they still need some buffer to work with here.
Yeah, and they got, what, I think it was 9 rounds, right? Versus the Renegades on their T side. So solid T side, especially versus a team as good as the Renegades. But yeah, as you said, they need to be pulling up something here. And it seems like so far the side of Order are just going to continue to try and pressure where they pressured before. And I rate that, because that's something a lot of teams will start to second guess themselves, going like, oh, should we just keep going B? Like you play your silly matchmaking games and go, well, we went B 6 times, that means number 7 we have to go A.
Oh no.
Not in their case. They're just going to go pushing into that B site again and again. Valiance, though, he's going to catch Apoc, Dad. That was a very aggressive play. To continue to push through the tunnels is so risky, especially with an AWP. There is no exit plan. Ofnu, he needs to be a star once again. And in fact, after finding a kill on long, they're actually going to go switching it up. And he's going to have to try and make a hero play through the smoke. Justillo is going to spot 2 players, but he won't get anything done. However, that's a lot of information for the rest of the squad. And I think they've realized now they have a free path onto this site. And look at the flank. This is going to be perfect. Ricky, all he had to do really was get 1. Now they're going to have the thought in the back of their mind that this man is behind us.
Well, they do know that at least Ofnu's there to its short. They're not aware of Zeph's position, though. But yeah, I agree with you. For the side of Chiefs, they're like, okay, Ricky's around there, behind towards top of mid. They need to make something happen. Zeph going to be flashing for Ofnu. Come charging out. Ricky's going to be falling back, but with Gyro getting that kill, this one's done. Unless Zeph finds a second kill. He's done a bit of damage to Gyro. Nice flashbang to help out his teammate from Ricky. Ricky's in the perfect position. Oh, that Molotov should seal the deal. There's not much time remaining. 9 seconds, and it's going to be Gyro's going to finish it off. Nice hold coming out from Order. And then 0. Look, I'm not a big fan of that aggression from Apoc alone, right? You have an AWP. It's like, you miss, you're done. And even if he landed the shot, the trade would have been immediate. Is it worth losing an AWP on a map like Dust with such a heavy investment for a one-on-one trade on the CD side. I don't think it's worth it. And he dies, and then the solo aggression up log. I mean, the teams are going to be expecting this. Like, Order are not a bad team at all. And they lost 2 players like that, aggressing and just getting, wrecked with no trade potential. I like the push towards upper tunnels with 2 players. That was much better. But this is the problem. I'm not a... My God. Well, it looked a little scary with the 2 kills, but... well, the T's reply back. This is what I'm talking about. These timed aggressions, they're trying to get the timing right, but Order's defaults, they're not going to allow it. Like, you need to, make some massive distraction for them to fall for it. But there's still a chance here, Tom. They're kind of low on a couple of these players.
If he gets this first kill, Alistair, he's switched over to the AK and just absolutely ruined him. Apoc Dud is the healthiest man, but unfortunately, he doesn't have any sort of weaponry. A single flash and a P2K, the flashbang, even just off the corner of the smoke. They don't actually manage to cross off of it. They're just going to play things very, very safe. Same sort of Molotov that we've seen used regularly. And although Zeph has managed to retrieve himself an AK, it's kind of awkward where this goes. They're going to go for the boost up. Oh, no, he actually jumped twice. They should know. They should 100% know that both players are going to be here. That's the luckiest kill I may have ever seen. Blind completely, just going to hit the shot onto Alistair with both remaining players low. This could get rough. Nice work from Valiant. Should make this just that little bit tougher. And look at the position of Ricky. He's just holding into the pit. There's absolutely no chance for the cross. That kill from Zeph is absolute BS. There couldn't have been a luckier kill, I think, if you'd ever seen. Nice shots from Zeph initially, though. Like, these couple of D kills at least makes things costly, but at this point, Blair, the money is pretty damn good for Order anyway.
Yeah, right now it's not about putting the... This is ridiculous. Just... Alistair is going to be a little annoyed with that, but it's okay. He's got his favorite gun in his hands. They've got a lot of money to work with. Off-bot, still $7,000 in the bank, but quick trades towards long, and Val's going to fall off, and Vexite going to strike together. Although, in the fray, Vexite will lose his life. But 3v4. First time in a long time, we're going to be seeing, make that a 2v4. We're going to be seeing a pretty heavy advantage for the Chiefs side. Maybe the first round on board as well, Tom. It's been 6 rounds of drought, and now maybe some early success.
Yeah, this is one, though, where they still need to be keeping this clean. Like, I don't want to see another player go down, really, for Chiefs if I'm going to be feeling confident, especially because this double orb setup is not going to be something they can recreate if too many players die. I'm sure Vexite's got a little bit of extra cash, but realistically, you don't want to be losing one of these AWPs. Apoc Dud, though, a simplistic kill onto Ricky, and with a disjointed defense...
What are you doing,
I don't know why you're doing that. That's just silly. That's such an easy kill for Alistair. And you hand him anything like that, he could even find some space. That's risky, but it almost pays off. Nice work from Zeph, though. He's one of the only players that actually had a good early start to this game for his squad. Everybody else really struggling. Well, all of them combined currently have 1 more kill than him, so it kind of says it all. But yeah, this from Vexite, well, we're going to see him challenge for long a lot. I think that's what we've learned from him, that being so young, he hasn't got that sense of fear yet. It hasn't developed. So he will just run in, die, and early trade's not too bad. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I kind of feel like I know what I was thinking, because the moment Apoc Dud got the kill from short, they kind of assumed, oh, they have to be together, which is a strange assumption to make. But that's what I think Soju was saying. Oh, the other guy must be short as well, because his teammate just died right there, and it's a 2v4. He comes running and jumping around with a knife in hand. And yeah, these are small little things you kind of notice, which you don't notice when you look at like higher, like top tier Counter-Strike. These guys have the aim. It's just a small little nuances, which if they can fix those, if they can be a little bit more of a tighter-knit unit, it'd be great. Is there the CSGO logo in a football?
I don't know. I wasn't paying that close attention.
There is a CSGO logo in a football, but I don't know if it's actually there in the game, because I don't think I've ever seen it. And I spent a lot of time kicking the football around. Well, long hit coming out. And Chiefs have relinquished it.
Yeah, something they challenge for quite regularly. Of course, this is a map where you can't challenge for everything all of the time. You don't have enough personnel to go for that. Again, a very aggressive position from APOC Dud, and one that, again, makes me a little bit uncomfortable. It's a spot where if you get pushed from short, or from tunnels even, you're basically dead, and there's very little chance for a trade. And considering he's found nothing, they're going to have to try and reposition, but hold on to short control. They can't allow that to slip away. The setup, though, is going to be a bit of a rough one. They're going to need him to hit some shots, especially watching over the pit. Oh! And that's a tasty headshot onto Alistair. Even the second one as well. Just holding down long with the AWP. It's been retrieved by Ricky, and he's got to be careful not to overface it. You've already got the two-man advantage. Your teammates are going to be able to get into position. You don't really need to be taking any more risks.
He is. He is peeking around the smoke. He smoked off towards the top of ramp, and he's holding the edge of the smoke, and he gets taken down. There's no need to do that, APOC. You've done your job. First incredible shot, follow-up as well, finding Gyra, and now you just give your life away unnecessarily. You can play it a little bit more passively. Nice flash from Vexite. Not really blinding Valiance, but, you know, it does the job. And now it's a 2v4. What I'm saying here, Tom, it could have been a 2v5.
It also could have been a 3-on-3 if Vexite didn't win his duel, so... it did. Yeah, I guess they managed to make it work elsewhere. You still, he's normally pretty good in this situation, but 1 versus 3 with 1 HP, he's not going to stand a chance. So Chiefs are going to convert their second round. As said, as long as they get themselves, say, maybe 6, I would actually feel pretty confident in them going into the T side if they play like they did yesterday. But for Order now, money's still going to be all right. Valiance with some extra cash. The bomb plant will help them out significantly. Sure, Jira's a little bit low, and his 10-0 start has slowed down a little bit. That was dirty. I think that must have clipped the wall, because I think if it clipped the floor, the guy probably would have survived.
Ricky getting tagged, and that is unreasonable. Gets tagged and then gets wallbanged through the car. Some good shots coming out with the ops from APOC Dud and Ricky, and they will. Sorry, I think it was APOC Dud and I think it was Zeph there. And Zeph getting tagged down by Alistair. Like you said, Tom, money has been whittled down now, but for at least the time being, they have all the money in the world, all the weaponry in the world, rather, to work with. Although Zeph being low here could be a problem. It's interesting how Order haven't really harassed this B bomb site that much yet, considering how much success they found there. But then again, it's working out towards A, so you know, why do you have to like switch something up that drastically? But I still feel like this B bomb site hold from Chiefs, it's very susceptible to, you know, to any hit. Like, could be just a dry B hit, could be like a B split coming in. Haven't really been convinced with it so far.
Yeah, they really struggled with this. And I'm hoping that's something they've tried to rectify. As said, I think they have switched up slightly the positions of Soju and Zeph. And it was something that they did in the game versus Renegades as well. It is reliance on Zeph doing quite well with the AWP, but thus far he has been. In fact, he's now even going to reaggress and control into the tunnels. The problem is they have lost middle. They've lost it completely, in fact. This is going to be a rough position to hold. I understand Soju trying to hold it, but that's not going to work. The Molotov into the corner as well should leave Zeph in an awkward position. And again, this hold of the B site just is not good enough. Yustilo, though, he's actually going to be caught. And this at least gives them a chance in the retake. It was looking pretty bleak in the 4 versus 3, but now it's doable.
It is. It's definitely doable considering how low a couple of these players are and the lack of utility. Nice shot from APOC, forcing Ricky to reposition himself because of the Molotov, but Gyro's alive, and a flashbang is not good enough. Vexite's going to get the kill. That's a great retake. That's a fantastic retake. APOC Dud with a triple. I want to see that final kill from his POV as well, and Chiefs get the 3, but yeah, great retake. Helped out by the fact that Ofnu got the kill towards lower dark. However, Tom, B bomb site, we say it again, it is a problem. It is a chink in the armor for the side of Chiefs, and that is something that is going to get abused by Order before this one's done, before this particular half's done.
Yeah, I think that retake as well, although very good, there were some pretty serious aspects that I don't think will be recreated again. Like, Yustilo, obviously, you know what he's trying to do. He's trying to come in on the flank, but I feel like that's a risk that wasn't really needed. Like, you have a man advantage in a position where As long as you just hold your angles, you don't really need to push that. The other thing as well is they had 2 players below the window. Now, I don't know about you, Blair. I don't think I ever see a hold that has 2 players below the window because it sucks. And if you actually look at the Molotov that was thrown by APOC Dud, that was the only Molotov that could have basically ruined their day because it forced both players to move out. One had to move close towards the door. We see moments later, it's actually attempted by Gerard to run through the door. So, because he's in such an awkward position anyway. And then the other player was Ricky, who gets killed by the AWP because he gets forced back into the crosshair. So, I don't know if that's something that will happen again, at least in the same way. They would have to have some more levels to their retakes. And I think they got there very quickly to actually start the retake. So I'm not convinced, especially with how easy it was for Gerard to basically just walk in and double entry the site.
I agree with you on that. Also, I kind of give Chiefs Order the benefit of the doubt for their post plans because of just the lack of utility, right? And like you said, how quick the retake was. Didn't really have a chance to reposition once more. The hit coming in towards B Tech 9 train, baby. And Zeph misses the first one. Soju's there to help him out. Soju putting in work. Triple kill for him. And that is a very reminiscent hole from yesterday against Renegades. So Soju waking up a little early in the game here today.
Yeah, they're definitely padding their stats a little bit here. I think Zeph's been pretty good with the AWP. The problem I have is that I feel like he almost has to dominate in mid for that hold to work. Hamming shot not quite going to land for Alistair, who it's actually interesting. Like we talk about prominent AWPers. So far when I've seen him play Dust 2, he has struggled a little bit. I don't think he's quite had the impact I'd like to see from him today. And there's been a few moments where I'm like, well, you know what? I expect you to at least be doing a little bit more than this on a map such as Dust 2. So maybe if he can step up to the play, especially with, well, we talk about how the one underperformer on this squad is normally Gerard. He's currently top of the board by quite a margin, in fact. I think he's on 12 kills. So we need to see some other members of Order step up. This could be a very dominant half for them, but unfortunately, it's not quite happened yet. And how's Ofnu just got away with that? He does end up getting taken down, which I guess actually favors the T side, but just spamming through the door, Gerard is now gone.
He is gone now. He still is aware that there was an attempt to push up towards tunnels. Now, I don't think he knows there were 2 of them. Now, again, heading towards A. APOC Dud. All the time. Oh, you hate to see it. They're going to run in through the flames, aren't they? Yes, they are. 2 players just charging out, and APOC's going to do a smart thing, fall through a CD spawn. There's no point sticking around taking the fight. But that's going to leave Vexite alone. Now, his attention straight on that A-bomb side, but his position has been compromised. Now, they know where he is. And that means this flank in the form of Ricky, he can create a lot of problems. And Vexite's aware of this as well. So he's trying to be a little bit more aggressive and trying to take care of that flank before it gets up to no good. And here comes the retake, rather. And it's okay. Soju, out of nowhere, 2 kills in a very uncomfortable position. Make that 3, and somehow he's turned it around for the side of Chiefs. And Ricky's going to be left alone. They know where he is. And it's going to be Vexite to seal the deal. What was that from Soju? We didn't see it from his POV, but we talk about shooting fish in a barrel, Tom. The fish, they shot back.
No one ever suspects the fish.
Look at this. 1. Oh, that's some clean stuff from Soju. Almost headshot angles as well. Great stuff. Great retake from Chiefs. I thought that round was done, honestly.
Well, I'll be honest, I thought this half was done with the start that came out for Order. We were looking at a 6-0 scoreline not too long ago, and Chiefs have now managed to get themselves 5 rounds in a row. I'm going to type slight tech pause, Blair. All right, will be just a moment. I think Ofnu has disappeared. Now he did have a bit of a quieter start, so maybe he's having a skill restart. Although that is a joke, obviously, because I think he's having some internet issues. So
no, it happens. It's a fact, Tom. Like when you're like missing all the shots, you restart your router, you change your resolution, change your mouse settings, delete a couple of programs, and boom, there you go. You're now dropping 30 bombs.
Do you ever do that in single player games? What I would refer to as the skill quit.
No.
It's like, oh yeah, no. I'm definitely better than this game, but just there's some BS going on, so I'll skip. That was actually something that was quite common in online FIFA. It's like you're getting banged really hard. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna skill quit. It's like, well, what's skillful about that? It's like, well, he doesn't get to destroy me any worse.
Well, that's
I
right.
am
That's
not good at FIFA. That's one of those games where I feel like no matter how much I play, I don't get better at the game. Like if I play CS repeatedly for weeks and weeks, I can find myself getting better and better. Like my individual aim, just because of constant muscle memory, I'm improving. If I play FIFA again and again, I will eventually come up against someone who will beat me 9-0, and I will never want to play it ever again until the next day, and then I'll play again.
Which is what's terrifying for me, when it comes to Diabolical, because I played a beta. I've been following the game for a while.
I'm so bad at this game.
I love it.
So
I love
bad.
it. I'm okay at the game. The problem is, listen, I mean, I'm a boomer, but there are like mega boomers out there who've been playing
like Slasher.
Yeah, people like Slasher and people of his ilk who are like these close to 40-year-old dudes who have like, kids. The kids are about to head to college, and they're like, now is my time to shine. Now is my time for my Quake 2 skills to shine. And these are guys who are outfragging people like when I was just discovering video games, and they are terrifying. They're super nice though. I remember playing Diabolical when it came on beta on one of the Singapore servers, and it was a 1v1, and this guy he's destroying me. And I'm like, I'm still like, okay, fine, I'll play. And then this guy in all chat is like, you're new to the game? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, have you played similar games? I'm like, I've played some Quake, but I'm not like that great in the game. And he's like, it's fine, I'll teach you. And he spent the rest of the game just teaching me some movements and some tips and tricks. I'm like, wow, these guys are super nice. It's a very different scene compared to a lot of the other gamers, so to speak, when it comes to, let's say, Counter-Strike or some of the new up-and-coming games. So it's a boomer game, but it's a game which will teach you the meaning of humility, Tom.
Well, yeah, it's like I've watched like little bits of like Quake. I always enjoyed watching Cypher play.
Oh, Cypher, Rafa, yeah.
He was just, it was just nuts. Like you watch what they do, especially the movement, because there's a lot of people who like talk about how like the movement, it is probably one of the most important things in that game. But it's just the way that he's moving around at the speed of sound, and I'll try and do that, and I'll be like hitting a wall. I'm like, you must have spent so much time like memorizing these maps. And the thing that's really interesting to me, I don't know if you knew this, but so I was like watching a fair bit of Apex Legends at a time. And he was actually the coach of the Na'Vi Apex Legends team.
Oh, okay.
So he like, I obviously that game, there is a lot of aspects that movements come into play rather than other battle royales. Like if you look at PUBG, fairly static. But if you consider Apex, there is a lot of like sort of B-hopping, like movement, being able to swing yourself up into certain positions. So I wonder if that was part of the aspect or part of the reason that he was actually brought in, is just because in terms of like movement and raw individual like insta aim and reaction times, like that man was always up there. I think he still competes to like a very, very high level of 14. I think it's like, just look, he's got 14 years of experience playing that game. So the fact that he then went over and coached some of the youngsters, and to be fair, that the Apex team from Na'Vi, if you're going to pick like raw individual players, dear Lord, some of those guys are absolutely ridiculous. Like you know when you see someone like just post a like clip on Twitter, just like, oh yeah, I did this today, and you look at it and you're like, get out.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't. I
could spend 10 years playing this game and I wouldn't be able to do that once.
It's ludicrous, the skill ceiling in some of these FPS shooters, and I'm actually a big fan of like, I really never got on the Apex hype train. But I did enjoy watching a bit of it. And also, like, if you look at Diabolical coming out, I like shooters which have a very, very high skill ceiling, where it's like, you look at a pro player, like a really good one, and you're like, there is no way I can do that. No matter how many hours I put into it, I can't do that. And I feel like that is the sort of skill ceiling I want to see in competitive games at the very least, right? There are many other games out there who've come out in the past 5 years or so where it's like, they want everyone to play the same level, so it's more like, oh, we want a new player to pick up the game and feel like, a pro player. Like, get out of here. That's not how video games work. Anyway, we're back in the game. Optimus is reconnected and is ready to drop his 30 bomb. As Zeph with the AWP, he's gonna he gets tagged, but he still managed to win the duel. Nice flashbang, but not able to peek around and get the kill, as it's all on his Soju in basically a 1v4, and is going to be smoking off the flames. They're going to come charging out. No one checking the corner. No one checking the corner. Is going to find two, and now it's a 3v2 as the bomb Well, it's been retrieved, and it's still has got a fight too, and suddenly things are looking a little tricky here for Chiefs.
That was a mistake from APOC Dud. That was a big mistake. That was a completely unnecessary peek. You have yourself a man advantage. Your teammates are not close by. And you decide to peek into the window. That was the only way that you still is getting a kill. Ofnu ready to push through, and it's a little bit of an oversight. But Alistair, he hits the headshot instantly anyway. That is a round that they never should have been able to win. And again, that's the second time now where we've seen APOC Dud in situations where I don't doubt his ability to find those kills, but they weren't needed.
They weren't needed, and I completely agree with you. That was unnecessary, and for the in-game leader to do that...
Look where his teammates are. Look where his teammates are as he died there.
No one nearby.
Nowhere near.
Yep.
Nowhere near. That's silly.
You're the in-game leader, lad. I mean, you're supposed to lead by example, and these are the small little mistakes where, like I said, you could probably get away with it against a team like, let's say, Mako Shark, maybe against a Paradox, not against Order.
What is this round from Order? Like, two players just ran out short with, like, no smokes, nothing.
It was a forced buy. It was a buy as well.
They won the round.
Yeah. So sorry, what am I even saying? Like, I'm losing my mind. Yeah, that made no sense. Maybe that fast, long one player was trying to sell something there, and they thought they could catch the players off guard. And okay, that does catch APOC off guard. Ouch! But Ofnu replies back, leaving Alistair. Ali, beautiful hair of his. I'm sorry, I can't get enough of it, Tom. He's left no 1v4.
You have a crush, don't you?
Listen, if you don't have a crush on Alistair, are you even living? Plus the shots, man. They make it even better. Here we go.
Yeah, it's kind of it seems unfair. I'll be honest. Sure. He's that good looking and talented, whereas I have neither of those things. Ofnu is going to be able to close out the round though, and it seems like his skill quit. I mean, internet restart has worked wonders because he will get himself a triple kill in this round. 7-6, still in favor of Order, but as I said, considering this was a 6-0 scoreline. And the last round was so close. This is going to put the pain onto Order. And I think maybe we did just see Chiefs get off to a bit of a slow start. It's been quite a common trend within this whole tournament. Is that we've seen like 6-0s and we haven't really seen many conversions. In fact, I think that's been the weirdest thing. Is that I think the only team that I can actually think of that had a really big start and actually converted it were Chiefs in like one of their or maybe some of their opening day matches. And Renegades.
True, that's actually something we've noticed so far. Zeph is feeling... Fall back, Zeph. Fall back. You got the kill. You can fall back now. Done your job. I don't know why you'd stick around. Well, if your in-game leader is going to do something similar, I guess you might be trying to follow his lead, but that's something which is just not worth it. You know, they just have pistols. You know the buy's rough. I'm giving them an MP9. And just unnecessary. Well, the bomb is heading back towards B. But Soju, you know what? I'm starting to believe in this lad. He's been pretty solid so far on his B bomb side. And he was pretty solid as well against Renegades. And this position is perfect. Unless they land like some disgusting Deagle headshot.
Oh. A couple of players on the other side who can. Smoke going to be thrown over. It will pull the rotate. Of Ofnu into position, and actually the incendiary is going to force them back. There isn't much time on the clock, 30 seconds to try and make a play. Now the play is being made by Alistair, and he has managed to at least deny the angle being held by APOC Dud. Ofnu though is looking to try and end this round, and he basically has. That's the bomb down. He's just going to wipe them out. The skill quit has worked wonders for him. And now Alistair, okay, he's found a kill. If he can pick up that AWP, he might just want to try and save it, and he's going to be able to make the cross. So not a bad round, in all honesty.
Pushing him down, Ofnu. Holding W, trying to catch Alistair. But yeah, not terrible, considering the investment. And of course, they have the buy coming in. Well, Max lost bonus money. And it is a very, very, not just similar, it is the exact scoreline we saw between these two teams when they faced off against each other a couple of days back, Tom. It was 8-7. However, I do believe it was 8-7 favoring Chiefs, though, in this first half. And it's Looking pretty similar. And we touched upon this fact earlier as well. It's Chiefs T side where they seem to find us which is their favorite side. So if they're going to get 8-7 rounds here, they're going to be feeling pretty comfortable. Alistair. Too close.
Yeah, he wanted that kill really badly. The thing that's been weird about this, though, is that in the last game that we watched them play, it was Order. I think it was Chiefs who got off to a flying start and Order fought back. Now we've got Order getting off to a flying start and Chiefs fighting back. Yep. So clearly they're evenly matched, but just in streaks. It's a bit of a weird one. Nice nade as well. Like, this is so much chunk damage. All of this has just been done by utility so far. Not a bullet has landed. Oh, that's a risky peek from APOC Dud. He wanted to try and make the play and instead has actually handed away initial kill. Gerard's had a phenomenal first half. Ofnu now going to play again in a very aggressive position, but he's been hitting his shots over the last few rounds, and actually the T's have opted to try and double back. Blair, it's going to be onto Soju once again.
The young lad, he doesn't have any utility. I'm sorry, what was I even saying there? The one smoke he has is going to dissipate in 35 seconds, going to be remaining on the clock. The backup's nowhere nearby. It's do or die. You just got to hold on to this. He has to be the turret. He has to hold on to this bomb site all by his lonesome. There's no one marking mid for him as well. Luckily for him, there is no one at mid. All 4 T's making their way in. He spots out a barrel of the gun. No one checks him and he's going to get traded. Ricky finds a frag, but the rotation's so far away. Often at least kind of close by. He's going to be making his way from the tunnels, but 3v2, if Alistair gets taken down, there is a chance. But just a sheer lack of utility for the CTs is going to make this retake nigh impossible, Tom. Especially with the Molotov. There we go. The Molotov getting tossed in. Valiant finds Vex site. That's going to be the round. Order's going to get her 8 rounds here in the first half.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where I think they got basically disjointed because of that. And while Alistair just holding the angle ready and waiting. So 8-7, similar scoreline. In fact, maybe even identical scoreline to what we saw last time, but in a very different manner. And Chiefs now going onto the T side, I'd be feeling fairly confident with them, especially with how things started 6-0 down to bring it back to a very respectable, in fact, probably the default scoreline we normally expect to see on Dust 2. Now, if they can get the momentum rolling and actually stick with it, this is their game to lose, if anything.
I'm not going to make any predictions, Tom. It doesn't seem to work in this particular region.
That's boring.
True. You know, one of the worst things about working the desk, or like being an analyst on the desk, and you've done a few desks here and there.
Mitch?
I have not had the pleasure of working with Mitch. Oh, no, Alistair, that is so unlucky. APOC was blind as a bat, and yet he wins. And now the hunting down, you still owe the Lobster, good for 1. That's about it. It's a 2v4. And this aggression from the CDs, I like it, but a little bit of good aim, some good timing, and a little bit of luck going the way of the T's. And now Valiant's left alone in a very grim task ahead of him. Jaira finds APOC Dud. So they have the T's pincered, but now it's retake time. They have a kit, no utility, and his USBs have to be perfect with the shots. Why are they even peeking? I'm not too sure. But Soju, he tags down Valiant and also gets Jaira. And this is going to be impossible. And it's going to be round number 8 for Chiefs.
He just completely blinded Zeph. He's going to do it again. Trying to give him the peek. I don't think it even matters at this point. 15 seconds until the bomb goes off. And it's a bit of a depressing save, but it is just going to be some Kevlar kept into the next round. So scoreline equalized. Pistol victory for the side of Chiefs. But normally what we see on Dust 2 is a false buy into these next rounds. You want to get Alistair on the AWP as soon as possible. So normally you take the risk here. And we see them go in with maybe a couple of scouts and some pistols.
Could be the case here. Let's see how blind. Bro. That was a fantastic flash from Mistilla. And APOC, he doesn't need his eyesight, Tom. Man doesn't need his eyes. He's just hitting shots based off timing. Oh, that's clean from Soju. He gets a gush under the player inside tunnels and then spins around. Finds the player at mid. And I'm surprised not to see a single scout. Usually in Dust 2, especially when you have Alistair and Ricky on your team, you expect to see at least one scout, if not even double scouts coming out here. Use long-range duels, you can get the tags in, the Deagles and the 5.7s can finish off the job. Instead, it's going to be 5 pistols, which is a little a little unusual.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. Even like Ricky normally plays a scout as well, so maybe just wanting the armor this time, I guess. But yeah, I like a scout on this map, especially if it's in the hands of Searson. I feel like that's a special treat. But I'm sure someone like Alistair could also use it to a decent level as well. They have a bit of extra utility, and the smoke being thrown down is actually very well timed. It's going to be just annoying. Doesn't quite cover off the angle, so I think they may have actually seen in the gap in the smoke the cross from Gerard, so that could be a big problem. The only thing is, if they try to hard check him, they could end up running into Alistair, and they will. He switched away from his gun, but he does still manage to get 2 kills. And now with 30 seconds left, they're going to have to run the gauntlet all the way towards this A site. There's still 2 players waiting on default. This is unusual for such a long take. Pistols doing some damage. It's Ustillo already managing to pick off 1. And actually, Ricky's still here. 15 seconds. All he has to do is try and deny the bomb plant, but it's actually going to get planted. There's not anything he can do about that. He's just going to wait in the corner. There's no way Soju expects him to be here. The first for free, the second as well. Ricky may have slightly baited his team out, but he wins the round, so who cares?
Oh, I still want to... Okay, I want to go back to the 2K Alistair got, right? Was that a bait setup? Was Gyro, like, did he willingly show his feet there under the smoke? Because if that's the case, that is just genius. Like, give him a Nobel Prize.
You should never willingly show your feet on the internet.
Have you got requests for feet pics, Tom?
No.
Okay. I know James has. We all know James has. He's got large
Why are
feet.
you releasing my DMs?
Oh, all right. Chiefs have got, well, that eco, it was a force buy, but some brilliant work. And like you said, Ricky, he did bait a little bit, but you know what? If you're going to land shots like that to close it out, that's a great job, Valiance. He does have backup nearby, and it is going to be Gyra who gets 1, but falls. And now, actually, no, he finds nothing. Valiance with a spray, a wild spray indeed. He picks up 3. But the bomb, oh, yes, he spots it out. Alpha spots it out. Oh, the peak, the timing, it's brilliant stuff from Ali. And I guess Chiefs might be pretty okay with that. A little happy with that. Didn't get the bomb down, but at least they took away 2 rifles with just the deagle investments. But yeah, it is going to be 10-2 for order. And the money is still looking not too healthy yet. They haven't really built up a kind of like a war chest yet, Tom.
The T's themselves, though, I think they really could have used that bomb plant. They've gone heavy into the utility, and because of that, come out with the Galils. Jim said before that he was excited to see Zeph's Galil, but he's actually one of the players who doesn't have one, so that's a bit awkward. Spray through, doesn't actually land onto anyone. Again, there does seem to be a lot of openings in this defense for the CT side. There's always going to be something that you have to try and spot out. On some rotations between long and short. Mid has been left open a fair few times. And if it isn't, then there's normally only 1 player within this B site in the form of Valiance. Zeph, though, is actually going to find the opening pick through the smoke. And this does leave a massive hole in the CT side defense, as that was the mid player completely gone. And I think they've made the realization, okay, if mid's dead, what are the chances they have multiple players on B?
Well, the reaction is immediate, though. 2 players now towards mid, and often spots at least 1 out. And Valiance, he needs backup. And it's going to be Ali who's going to find Zeph, and he is the player who is kind of being the distraction, and he's going to do more. He's going to be the murderer as well. Finds 2. That is huge from Ali. The man does it all, Tom. And now it's all an off-new 1v2. He knows there's a player nearby. He has an inkling. He sniffs him. Spots a barrel. No, he doesn't. And Gyro, the timing is spectacular. Peeks around the corner. Finds his head. Great hold from Valiance. But my word, Alistair, he's doing everything right now.
Yeah, he basically not only got 2 kills, but he earned Valiance another one. Because when you see someone around the door like that, especially when you've already got a peek in middle, if you're going to make an educated guess that that's the only person there, because why are you facing that otherwise? If you have other players within the site, you're probably not going to take that peek within the door. So Ali sort of baits them in, and then Valiant's just like, oh, no one's going to look in my direction. I'll just have a free couple of kills. So Really important play from him. And now the money's actually back in the dirt for the side of Chiefs. And the thing is, having your opponent get off to one good start, okay, it's not the end of the world. It happens twice, then that's a bit more of a problem, because that is the case at the moment for Order. Now, a rifle has been retrieved. You still... I don't like this position, but he gets a kill and now can just fall back, so that's absolutely fine. Wanted to make sure this round didn't get out of control. Speaking of control, though, Blair, they actually do kind of have the B-side, but they don't have any utility to get them past the door. And Valiance knows this, so he's just going to be holding, wanting to take those fights. They're going to try and bait him in, use those pistols. The bomb gets across. That's all that really matters for the T's. And now, some extra money will be made, and the hold will be attempted.
APOC dot with the M4. This should be a rough hold, though. Like you said, no utility, no Kevlar. The fact that they even got the bomb down and even got the kill on Ricky, that itself is just a big win for the side of Chiefs here and now. Going on to close angles is Gyra. Flashes the pop, and here they come charging in, and okay, 1v1, APOC dot, he's got the M4, he's gonna fall back, and he's got a kit. He can just stick this, and he just might flashbang being thrown into its tunnels. It's gonna completely blind APOC. He's blinded, and he's gonna just stick it, but the spray comes in.
Oh, he got
just a nanosecond too late. He still clutches it out. That's gotta be heartbreaking for Chiefs. I mean, they would have expected to win the round when it came down to the 1v1. They were like, all right, guys, we almost have it, but ooh, what an expensive round for Order. Even though they won the round, I feel like Chiefs actually came out on top there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that them losing that could actually end up being a silver lining, but if they win this round, Order are screwed. Like, their money is as bad as it can be going into this sort of round anyway. They're actually going to take a risk. They've sent 4 players A-long. Now, 3, that's fairly standard. 4 is a lot. And Ofnu actually managed to thread the needle. If you run past 4 players and none of them see you, I think you've done a pretty impressive job.
Oh. Nope. What? What? Oh. Oh. That's just filth. He's got away with murder. He's alive. He's still alive, Tom. And in the meantime, he's got to get another one. That's illegal. Often you can't do that. There are 4 players in long, and he finds 3 of them, and he's still alive. And with that, shot's been given up. There's nothing Yustilo can do. And in fact, Tom, I don't even think he can save. Because he's trapped in the pit. What was that from Ofnu? How does he get that? How does he get the second? How does he get a third?
I don't know, but this is what you want to see if you're a Chiefs fan. They might not expect Yustilo to be here, though. That's the only thing. There we go. It's finally been spotted out, but obviously, as you said, they killed 3 players on long. I don't think you're going to be expecting player number 4. Ofnu's actually going for this, and he's going to get his 4th kill. As said, at the beginning of the round, this was a 4-man stack. They faced off against 1 man. A man's face is on your screen at the moment, and he managed to come out on top and survive the round more disgustingly. I said at the beginning, like, I don't know if he's going to be able to pull off the same magic that we saw with 35 kills, but I'd be impressive if he does manage to sort of pull things back. He's been very, very good. That flashbang was so sick from Yustilo, though.
Look at the diffuse. What? 1 second. The spray comes in, and
he killed him like a tick later.
Yeah, that's like almost the moment he got a diffuse. That's insane. Just the timing on that is ridiculous. 0.69.
Well, no, that had to hit 0 because otherwise the bomb's not diffused.
That's true. So like, he literally just hit 0. But I just saw 0.069, Tom. I got excited. But 9-12. And attack time are getting called by Order, or I guess by Chiefs. I'm not too sure, but that was a round you said it could get very scary, and it got very, very scary because they've gone for the Force. I mean, yeah, you do have a 12-9 lead. Yeah, you have no money, and plus you have a lead, so cool, makes sense.
It's like the next round, and unless you're going to go in with SMGs or just, again, some pistols, it's kind of worthless. So it's fine. It also means that Alistair can save up that extra cash, and he'll probably be coming up with an AWP in a couple of rounds' time. But yeah, this is looking very good. And the thing is, the manner in which Chiefs have been able to do this, they come very close in the round prior with the pistols. They then come into that round and win it very cleanly off the back of some brilliance from Ofnu. So they've now given a huge injection of cash into the T-side economy. Great flashbang coming out from Gerard. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do anything in the USP. And now he's the only one remaining. It is a flawless round. So Chiefs have pretty much started their comeback at the perfect moment. Cash is booming. And more importantly, Blair, they're now going to come up against, well, nothing. So this could be an even better start for them.
Yeah, this is their opportunity to try and tie things up here. And this map's not quite done yet. And every time Autoplay does too, it's like, it's so close, right? The first time they beat Chiefs yesterday was 16-14. Renegade just sneaking away with the win. Oh, nice tag there from Apoc Dot. But don't really see anything taking place here. Even if they go for a stack or anything mental, I really don't see the USBs coming out on top, especially in a map like Dust 2, where just the rifles at distance, it's going to be a problem. Another attack for Apoc Dot. Finishes off Alistair. Overkill with a headshot. This one's, I don't know if I ever asked you. You did predict Order to win, right? 2-0, because I like the other two.
I don't know about 2-0. I obviously it's kind of null and void saying it now because we're halfway through a map, but I think the Chiefs should be able to at least steal one. The only problem is we're kind of looking at it as what map. This one, it's kind of questionable, and the next I think is impossible. So it has to be here if they are going to take one. But they're looking good at least now. So I'm sure if I do predict them to take a map, no one's going to take it anyway because we're already into the map and I have some data that no one else would have had. But I think they can take this now, especially on the T side. I think they've looked very impressive. They had a stellar first half. Sure, they've now got off to 2 slow starts. But that's the thing, Blair. Like, if they've had the slow starts, the thing that's been fantastic from them is when they finally have economy in the buy rounds, they have the economy in the buy rounds. So I think Order are going to have to step up significantly. And the thing that scares me is in the games where we haven't necessarily seen the best from the younger players, we've seen the sort of old guard of this roster perform fantastically well. Now, granted, a lot of the younger players started very well in this game. But we have started to see a few of them fall a little bit flat, and Ricky and Ustillo are nowhere to be seen.
True, and it can kind of be said of Chiefs as well. If you look at all the players, Apoc Dot, even as in-game leading and everything, he's still very young. He's like 21. You have Vexite, who just turned 16 yesterday. You have Zeph, who's 18, so just pretty young as well. And you have Offnu, who's kind of like the veteran in this lineup, right? He's like thing. And he's the one who's been stepping up here. He had a little bit of a quiet start. But I gotta agree with you. But I feel like for Ricky and Ustillo, it's more like, I think Ustillo, for me, is, apart from some of the players in the Renegades lineup, has been the most consistently good player so far in the tournament. He hasn't had a bad game. He hasn't even had like an average game. It's always been good or excellent.
Already. No utility left. Even with the sort of double save, this has not left him in a particularly good position. Ustillo, mention him, and he has stepped up to the plate, flashing him in. That's interesting. Bit risky, considering he only had 17 HP, and he is going to bear the brunt of it. Ricky also re-peaking as well. The old guard, well, maybe trying some old tricks that might be a little bit outdated because that hasn't gone well at all. Now, up to Alistair. A player you can normally rely on. The timing of the drop down isn't fantastic. He's got Gerard to support him, though. And he's actually going to try and play around the edge of the smoke, knowing that Vexite's in the corner. But the issue is they've now rotated very heavily in towards this A site. Now, Valiance is going to try and hold the cross. He might have even heard the footsteps. Goes for the spray through, but 2 players drop within seconds. In fact, Vexite ends up opening up A anyway. Chiefs even things up 12-12. The money, Blair, is actually insane at this point. 13,200, 12,600, 10K for Soju. Like, they have enough money to buy until this match ends. And for the CT side, well, they don't even have that high a loss bonus. I think it's still around the 2,900 marker for this round, so it won't be until the next that we actually see a decent buy.
It's incredible how Vexite gets 2 kills from a position. I mean, he did a great job. I like the re-aggression from, I think it was from Alistair, where he gathers information that, all right, guys, no one to it short. And his teammate lost the duel at mid, but still, I think it was Valiant there, but still some great stuff from Vexite on the look. Like you said, yeah, the money's complete opposite. Order, yeah, they're going to save. Yes, they'll have money to buy into round number 26. But for Chiefs, it's just like it's like the Bank of Abu Dhabi or something. They can literally go with whatever they want. And this B bomb site seems to be their what they're going to be heading towards. Unfortunately for the side of Order, even with these pistols, they might have potentially stood a chance. We saw how close that one round got when they went for just the Deagle's retake. But this time around, I don't think that's going to pan out. They're going to be walking into an empty bomb site, and with the sheer complete lack of utility, all Chiefs are going to be looking for here is going to be just some exits. Sorry, Order will be looking for the exits.
Yeah, this is done already. It may seem like a little bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, there's absolutely no chance that they get back into this round. And as you said, just going to want to get some weaponry here. But yeah, Chiefs are now going to take the lead. And I don't know if it's for the first time in this match, but I think it might be. They managed to get back into a closer situation at the beginning of the half. And then we saw a decent streak of rounds off the back of that force buy victory. I think it was 8-8, and then they lost the force buy. So since then, it's been mostly Order. And now we've seen things switch back around once again off the back of some pistols as well for them. It may not have been around victory, but it was one that made things so costly for Order. Nice cleanup. Sure, you lose one man and Soju ends up a little bit low, but it really doesn't matter too much. 13-12 in the lead. And I think this will be the first decent buy we've seen from Order in about 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, it feels like we've just been seeing them with pistols, and every time they get a buy, they just get banged out by some ridiculous play from, I don't know, from Offnu, from APOC, sometimes even Vexite stepping up. This potential 2-0, it's slipping away, Tom. I feel like it's slipping away, and we spoke about this Chiefs T side, and you look at the scoreline, you look at the money they have in the bank, and it's very telling where they found the majority of the success. Offnu, 25 kills. Not quite as monstrous as he was in that win against Order earlier, but 25 kills isn't bad. That's how insane his performance was in the first time he played. I think with 30 bomb, which he dropped, and he's 5 kills away. And there is a chance he can drop the 30 bomb again, Tom.
Along and wipe out these 3 players. That would be a hell of a start. The other thing as well is I don't think he's needed to be as good. Like, you've got Zeph still pulling up just behind him, 24 kills, and then even Soju, I think, is on around 18. Like, they've both been having far better performances than the match where we needed an off-new hard carry. A lot of utility being expended in the early stages of the round, and Gerard, he'll get one. He's got teammates to support him here. This long control looking better, but he's going to have to do the majority of the work, and he can't quite escape. Both kills traded back by APOC Dud. Zeph also holding for Ricky. Ricky's been having an absolute mare, and well, it's going to continue by the looks of it. It's now the B site. He's going to be able to be opened up. Did APOC just spot?
I think he did.
This could...
They know.
Set up Zeph wonderfully. So you're not going to expect him to re-peek back out of the tunnels. Like, that's just such a weird thing to do. You're going to be very confused as to why he's done that. But obviously, he does spot out a player. It's left all onto Alistair. He's not been his best this game, and it's going to continue. Zeph now takes the lead as the top fragger within this server. 27 kills, having a lights-out performance, even with $16,000 in the bank. And the streak for the Chiefs continues.
Streak continues, and that was brilliantly done by the side of Chiefs, right? They trade equally. APOC Dud with the AWP finds a couple. The moment Zeph gets his kill, they realize that the B bomb site's going to be empty, and then this is what I love. They spotted Valiant. They're like, yeah, he's going to be waiting towards tunnels. Let's see him expecting 3 of us just peeking in, 2 especially peeking in from 2 separate directions. Zeph maybe peeked a little too early, I feel like, for my liking, but he still wins the duel and kind of throws his aim off. So it's going to be 14-12. Chiefs looking great. Here's a little bit of a tidbit for you guys. APOC Dud has 10 flash assists so far, despite bottom fragging for his team.
Not bad. Not bad. Already, this aggression is going to be shut down. Still 1 player to deal with, but they've got the Molotov to make this a very awkward position. And Soju, I've been impressed with him this game. As said, he was one of the players when they first played this map that was very underwhelming, having a poor performance. And we've spoken to APOC a couple of times now, and he said that they need to continuously try and keep him positive. Seems like they've done it today. Gerard not had a bad match, but definitely slowed down for what was the early rounds for him, and there hasn't been anybody to step up in his place, unfortunately. It's been a quiet performance for some of the members of this squad. He's going to try and at least get a kill or two, and he will take down APOC Dud, close to lining them up, but I don't think their round was ever in doubt.
Never in doubt. 15-12. This is looking like it's over, Tom. I mean, it's never over till the fat lady sings, but still, just
I get my wig.
Can he sing?
You have to wait until we do karaoke one day, Blair. Maybe you'll find out.
How have you never wound up doing karaoke? I'm surprised. I think I've done karaoke with almost everyone. Which is
I've done karaoke with Banks, which was very fun.
Must be fun.
He ended up singing Buffalo Soldier.
I've done karaoke with Duncan and Moses.
Can Duncan sing?
Duncan is let's just say the man's got a set of pipes on him. Very surprising.
I could imagine him singing some like proper diva songs as well, but we're gonna have to move away from this topic because this is one that I could keep on for quite a while. It is potentially the final round in the first map. It's going to be a fast play towards mid. They just started pressuring Ricky. As said, he's been having a mare. And so they're just going to press down on it. Press down on the issue. Gerard trying to hold on. He is going to help with Valiance as well on the side. Who's managed to come up with 3. That is utter filth. A great hold from him. And now APOC Dud going to be the only one remaining. He might as well go for this. They have the money to buy into the next round, the round after that. And probably the final round of the half as well. So he might as well just try and make this as costly as possible.
Alistair? Oh. We still don't know where he is. And APOC waiting patiently. I want to see this. The deal with Alistair and APOC Dud. For APOC, it's about taking away as many weapons as possible. That is objective right here. He doesn't have to, like, save his AWP. Scoped in. No one hears him. He's going to find it first. He knows where the second player is as well. That's one gun too many already lost here for the side of order. APOC Dud. Oh, that little flick towards window. I don't think he spotted. I think it was a body or maybe the blood splatter. But Valiance, quad kill. What a hole from him. He's a player of this order line. We don't really bring up that often. Usually Stillo or Alistair or Ricky. But that round was just beautiful stuff. 3K all alone. Surrounded on all sides by opponents. I love this. Just a spin around to finish it off as well. 2 headshots, and of course, in the end, shutting down APOC Dud before he could hemorrhage his team any further.
Still a chance for overtime, and if Chiefs could choke this one out, Soju, though, is there to start things off on long. Gerard just has to fade away. Not the start they were looking for. Oh, who's going up? Only one of you can. Makes more sense for it to be Alistair, if I'm being brutally honest. Get that AWP. But just look at the T's. They don't seem to be dedicated to this just yet. Still hesitating slightly on where they want to be going. Of course, in these sort of situations, the calling is everything. You get it right, potentially win yourselves the game. You get it wrong, and you might have just given Order the lifeline they needed. Still going to have Ricky lurking in mid, but this time he's got an AWP. A secondary up saved over from the last round. And as said, he's been having a bit of a rough one. You're going to see them crab walk, duck their heads down, just in case there is anybody watching mid. And with the lurker of Ofnu beside them, looks like they're going to put the pressure on Valiance once again.
I like this. I really do like this from Vexside and APOC. Trying to sell this, and that's trying to keep 3 players here, and they're continuing to push ahead. It's not just the smokes, they're making a lot of noise, barreling up ramp. 2 ops lying in wait, and it's going to be APOC that is going to find one. They're aware of the position, but hit comes in towards B, and Valiance again at 2K, and it's going to leave Soju alone. Vexside finds Alistair. Now it's a 1v3. Gyra, if he can find his kill onto the player on B, he could maybe save it, but Soju says no, and pours out a cold one for Order. 16-13 Chiefs.